Over the last 20 years, Capcom has delivered over-the-top monster designs that have scared, delighted, and stunned Monster Hunter fans. Whether your first hunt dates back to the original game on PlayStation 2, or you hopped in when 2018's Monster Hunter World dominated the charts, you're bound to have that one monster you've grown attached to and love more than any other. With Capcom's popular hunting RPG series featuring over 200 monsters in total, we've whittled them all down to find our top 25. We've combed over the franchise's entire history to determine which fearless foes stand above the rest, and which have carved out a special place in our hearts after all of these years. With Monster Hunter Wilds on the horizon, it's now time to take a look at some of the best beasts the series has to offer. Malzeno is a powerful elder dragon that made quite an impression when it flew onto the scene in Monster Hunter Rise's Sunbreak expansion. This monster's strength comes not only for its visual design, which features a glowing aura permeating throughout Malzeno's entire body, but also its ability to literally drain the life force from anything around it. This blood-sucking vampire of a monster is horrifying in both design and execution. Hunting it around Sunbreak's dilapidated castle ruins only adds further to the practically gothic ambience and aesthetic, which cements Malzeno and the fight against it as a standout moment that fans won't forget anytime soon.
A darkness that does not let its victims go, as they are slowly drained of their life.
Thanks to a crossover event with Final Fantasy XIV, Monster Hunter World received the hulking behemoth as a new foe for hunters to take on. Its unique mechanics, pulled from the beast's iconic Final Fantasy moveset, make it a formidable foe. Behemoth forces you to think about party composition in the terms of a traditional MMO, designating a tank to pull aggro, a healer to keep everyone alive, and damage dealers to press the advantage. Attempting to dodge Behemoth's instant knockout ecliptic meteor attacks still gives us nightmares to this day, but when you finally nail it, there's nothing else quite like it. A grotesque elder dragon that resides in the darkest depths of the Rotten Vale, Valhazak was first introduced in Monster Hunter World. Found in a den filled with a never-ending sea of bones, spewing disgusting poisonous gas from its mouth, Valhazak can make quick work of any unprepared hunter. Even years after its first sighting, the mere thought of Valhazak still sends shivers down our spines thanks to its red flesh-laced wings, and the rotten corpses that hang from its body. Who designed this monstrosity? We just want to talk. As you can probably tell, this is not a fight for the faint of heart or someone with a weak stomach. Valhazak's design and combat arena give other monsters in the series a serious run for their money. Chasing the speedy wyvern Legiana across the steep cliff sides of the Coral Highlands is a standout moment in Monster Hunter World. Legiana's high speed and precision make it a deadly assassin, and learning how to dance around its icy attacks is a true test of skill. Given this fast and fluid beast, any room to maneuver can very easily spell your death. So no matter how many times you go up against it, you'll always need to stay on your toes. Legiana has a shrieking variant introduced in the Iceborne expansion, but it's the original we pay respects to here. Legiana teaches hunters about the importance of staying fleet-footed and never being overconfident. This makes Legiana a valuable teaching moment for many new hunters and a sharp reminder for veterans. Bazelgeuse is the bane of our existence. This flying wyvern has been the cause of many late-night frustrations and trips back to camp after an entire team wipe. If you see a Bazelgeuse flying toward you, it's probably already too late, as this incredibly aggressive apex predator actively seeks out targets across the battlefield and drops bombs on anything in its path of total destruction. Practicing patience while hunting can get lost in the shuffle as you progress further into Monster Hunter games, and Bazelgeuse is here to remind players the importance of waiting for the perfect moment to strike. All this means that you'll best get ready for an explosive fight, one that you probably won't forget anytime soon. Black Diablos are not a variant of Diablos. They're actually female Diablos getting ready to mate. This causes them to become more territorial and aggressive, and so any monster or hunter that comes within their domain should approach with caution. The Black Diablos can bury itself in the sand and later erupt from underneath the desert dunes, sending anything in its path flying upward. The sheer carnage a Black Diablos can cause make it a difficult creature to fight, and you'll need to prepare for a long haul, as you trade blows back and forth in hope of chipping away at its heavy plates of armor. While standard Diablos is cool, we all know it's the Black Diablos that reigns supreme. As the final boss of Monster Hunter World's Iceborne expansion, Shara Ishvalda perfectly encapsulates the massive scale of the series' best monster battles. Initially appearing to be some kind of rock monster, Shara Ishvalda's first form boasts a rugged exterior that you slowly chip away at. But as rocks crumble off its body, Shara's real form begins to show. This is a large-scale Elder Dragon, and it acts as one of the ultimate Monster Hunter set pieces. Finger-like appendages on its wings appear more like two huge hands sprouting from its body, creating something both terrifying and majestic in form. The final confrontation with Shara Ishvalda and its strange finger wings will forever be etched into our memories. Furious Rajang, the more aggressive and powerful variant of the original Rajang, is a force to be reckoned with. Its glowing golden fur charges up with electrical energy as the fight plays out, essentially turning it Super Saiyan. Hunters have spent countless hours being tossed around the battlefield by the Furious Rajang, thanks to its high-flying acrobatic wrestling stunts that leave us as little more than lifeless corpses. Between its incredibly fast movement around the arena and its quick combos, Furious Rajang seems like a fighting game character hitting you with infinite combos. We don't have to love the Furious Rajang, but we sure do respect it. Astalos was first seen in Monster Hunter Generations, but received quite the glow-up in Monster Hunter Rise's Sunbreak expansion. This flying wyvern's hyper-aggressive nature means near certain death for any hunter or monster silly enough to walk into its line of sight. It's sort of like that high school bully that is always looking to fight, even if there's no actual reason to. Thanks to its flashy lightning attacks and prismatic wings, Astalos is as beautiful as it is dangerous. This means that every encounter with Astalos is an important moment because you'll need to make a quick decision to hightail it out of there or stand and hold your ground. Just make sure you bring a weapon big enough to bonk it on the head, and take it down a peg or two if you decide to fight. The Elder Dragon Amatsu is a sight to behold. Adorned with golden horns, it swims through the skies like a fish in the ocean. Its ability to control storms and wind makes Amatsu a fearsome monster to hunt. It'll throw out massive tornadoes and gusts of wind across a rainy battlefield arena, which all make for a memorable fight. While initially introduced in Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, it's in Rise's Sunbreak expansion that Amatsu's whimsical nature truly shines, where it'll hurl you through the skies and pull you in through tunnels of wind like a surfer gliding through a tube of water towards a monster's maw. More than anything though, Amatsu signifies great calamity, making it feared by everyone throughout the land. Its set-piece moment in Sunbreak, where it swirls around the darkened skies to announce itself as a true endgame level threat, helps put it above many other monsters on this list. There's something about a big boy monster who just wants to hit stuff, and Raging Brachydios is exactly that. A giant rock monster with fire hands and a thirst for blood. Raging Brachydios will keep you on your toes by smashing the ground and erupting the slime on its body to create arena-wide explosions. The Raging variant of the Brachydios is much deadlier than the regular version thanks to a more volatile slime that coats its body, causing faster and more potent explosions. Don't worry, we find the slime kind of gross. which is why we've determined to ensure this monster doesn't live to see another day. This variant ensures you're always on the move, making it difficult to position yourself for massive damage. But once you learn the rhythm of the fight, it makes for the most rewarding sense of accomplishment. How could you not fall in love with a giant dinosaur with a massive blade for a tail? Glavenus swings its giant sharpened appendage like a broadsword, cleaving anything in its path in two. As its tail dulls, Glavenus uses its own teeth to sharpen the blade, and we can't think of anything more metal than that. Originally introduced in Monster Hunter Generations, most people likely remember Glavenus thrashing around in Monster Hunter World's Iceborne expansion. While Glavenus might not be as popular as Rathalos or other monsters, its unique design and brutal attack damage make it a standout monster and one we will always love to fight. Teostra is something of a celebrity in the Monster Hunter series. Dating all the way back to 2006's Monster Hunter 2, Teostra has appeared in a total of 17 games, expansions, and spin-offs, ranging from Freedom 2 to Rise. Teostra's command of fire makes it hunting it an incredibly brutal activity. Whether it's heating up its body and producing flames so hot it can burn hunters at range or spewing fire across the battlefield, Teostra is not to be trifled with. Its supernova attack, triggered by a spark of its teeth, is enough to bring any hunter to their knees. Teostra is a classic, and one that no Monster Hunter journey is complete without. Sometimes the classics don't reinvent the wheel, but provide a strong foundation to build upon afterward. Namielle is an interesting elder dragon as it commands both water and electricity, a combo not often seen together. With its large black wings and slimy outer layer, Namielle can slide around the battlefield and cover it in water, despite being an elder dragon, shooting jet streams of water from its mouth and quickly moving about the arena. As mentioned, Namielle can also produce electricity, which it uses to shock hunters or other prey. While initially appearing a rather passive monster, Namielle is a powerhouse when provoked. Namielle's unique combination of elemental attacks provides hunters with a nice change of pace and creates a monster that feels elevated in both form and function. Gore Magala is a complete nightmare of a creature. This six-limbed young elder dragon has huge, grabbing claws on its back that can shred through almost anything in reach. Born without eyes, it emits pollen-like scales that attach to prey, which allows Gore Magala to sense their target's body heat. As it scatters more scales, it will change the color of the sky and enter into a frenzy, reaching a new, heightened power level. Gore Magala is powerful on its own terms, but once it reaches adulthood, it sheds its skins and becomes Shigaru Magala, a more fearsome golden-winged adult form of its previous self. This transformation provides a level of insight into a monster's life cycle previously unseen in the series, which makes Gore Magala a standout creature on this list. Rathalos, the red wyvern first seen on the cover of the original game, is the de facto Monster Hunter series mascot. Our large friend has appeared in every single entry of the Monster Hunter series, as well as making appearances in Final Fantasy XIV, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and even Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. And so this list would not be complete without what is arguably the franchise's most iconic creature. The Rathalos is a fan favorite and one that can often give newcomers and veterans alike a hard time in the wild. So this slot is for our beautiful baby, our cherished pal, our good buddy, Rathalos. Fatalis is arguably one of the strongest monsters in the series. Originally introduced in the very first Monster Hunter, this massive black elder dragon is known for its ability to level entire castles on a whim. It was most recently included in Monster Hunter World Iceborne's final update, which made Fatalis the true final fight of the game. Its massive scale and imposing figure make it one of the most difficult fights in the series, in part thanks to its fire breath being able to ignite an entire arena and leave only destruction in its wake. Fatalis is a monster to be truly feared, and a standing reminder of what elder dragons are capable of. Do not be fooled by Kirin's graceful form and demeanor. This unicorn-like elder dragon will not hesitate to impale you on its giant horn like a chicken kebab. Its quick dashes and lightning attacks will leave your head spinning. It often circles you faster than you can rotate the camera, which means you'll need to make use of perfect positioning unless you want to have your favorite palicos wheeling you back to camp with nothing left but your life. As Kirin leaps across the battlefield and you revel in its splendor, keep your head on a swivel and your blade sharpened. This monster is a perfect reminder that sometimes beautiful things can also be deadly. Kirin is a staple of the Monster Hunter series and one fans come to expect with each new entry. Kirin is more than just another monster, but a series icon that is adored by fans, even if it's the cause of many hunter deaths. Mitsuzune is a leviathan similar to Amatsu. It's armed with pressurized water jet blasts and has the ability to slide around the arena fluidly. However, Mitsuzune doesn't come packaged with Amatsu's world-ending calamity and is a little prettier to look at, so it scores a higher place on our list. Its ability to blow bubbles that hinder your movement and eventually knock you over make this a pretty dangerous monster to get tangled up with. However, Mitsuzune's movements are majestic, which makes each and every moment of the battle a spectacle, akin to watching a perfectly choreographed dance sequence center stage. While Mitsuzune might not be the most technical or complex fight on this list, it's one that reminds us that hunts can be enchanting, and getting lost in such a moment is what makes this series special. Another Leviathan makes the list, and with good reason. Lagiacrus, originally introduced in Monster Hunter 3, is a true menace. Diving below the water and finding this giant, long-necked dinosaur-like monster is a memory seared into the deepest parts of our brain. Having to navigate this fight underwater in your slow and bulky armor puts you at a disadvantage. And so, as Lagiacrus swims circles around you, learning how to seize each opportunity to land a strike becomes a game of its own. Lagiacrus is a formidable opponent, and one we hope to meet again down in the ocean depths. But it's been nearly a decade since we've last seen it. Lagiacrus defines a generation of hunters, and those hunters will never forget their first fight against the Monster Hunter 3's cover art beast. Have you ever thought to yourself, I really wish the monsters in Monster Hunter looked more like a fighter jet speeding across the sky? Well, you're in luck. Crimson Glow Valstrax, introduced as post-launch DLC for Monster Hunter Rise, is a variant of Valstrax that has been given afterburners. Its glowing red wings shoot flames as it darts across the sky, making for one of the coolest introductions to a monster in the series' history. Using its large, sharp wings as blades, Crimson Glow Valstrax is one of the series' most unique monster designs in recent memory. Every hunter's favorite pickle boy, the original Devil Joe is something of a Monster Hunter legend, known in the early games for its relentless nature and ability to dish out absurd amount of damage. The Devil Joe rose to fame in the community rather quickly. In Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, the Savage Devil Joe was born, a red variant with some new moves and a much needed facelift. Its constant rage and larger radius breath attacks makes the Savage version much more, well, savage. Its near constant frenzy leads it to attack anything and everything in its sight, leaving no stone unturned in its never-ending attempt to quench its bloodthirst. Savage Devil Joe is proof that no matter how difficult you think a fight can be, there's always something even harder right around the corner. Nargacuga's features resemble that of a black panther. Well, a black panther with wings and a giant spiked tail. It lurks in the shadows, waiting to get the drop on unsuspecting hunters. Its ferocious nature and natural ability to hunt prey makes the Nargacuga completely terrifying. Whether it's getting ambushed by one in a battle, or having to go toe-to-toe against this vicious predator, Nargacuga makes a strong case for being one of the best monster designs in the series. Speed is one of Nargacuga's biggest strengths, so you best be prepared to stay on the move. Despite Nargacuga never really changing from game to game, it's a prime example of getting a monster right the first time, and having everyone look forward to fighting it again and again. Nergante is Monster Hunter World's signature beast, This dangerous elder dragon is the star of one of the game's climactic fights, a battle where you finally get to tussle against the fearsome foe depicted on the collector's edition box art. Nergante is covered in spiky horns that regenerate over time, and the only way to prevent huge damage from coming your way is to stay aggressive and stop them from regenerating. Nergante's den, covered in a crystallized rock, makes for a thematically appropriate arena that only adds to this monster's mystique. Its ability to pummel you into the ground in a flash can make light work of even seasoned hunters. Between its design, arena, and theme, Nergante stands tall among the greatest monsters of the series. Our top dog, our best fanged wyvern, the Thundercat Zinogre takes our number 1 spot. Zinogre exudes a confidence unlike any other monster in the Monster Hunter universe. If Furious Rajan goes Super Saiyan when its fur glows yellow, the Zinogre goes Super Saiyan Blue. Its glorious scaled design and potent lightning attacks makes Zinogre a truly fantastic monster. Thanks to storing thunderbugs in its horns, it has the ability to supercharge itself with electric energy, which covers the arena in a light show rivaled only by a rave or late night club excursion. Anytime this brawny wyvern commands the screen, we welcome it with open arms, ready to lock horns with it. Zinogre is not a monster to be messed with, and one that we are always cheering for when it makes its return. Not only did Zinogre capture the hearts of fans when it debuted in Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, but it captured the true spirit of the franchise. This creature is the blueprint for an excellent fight that contains fast-paced action, devastating power, and a rockin' theme that worms its way into our brains. Make sure to let us know in the comments below what your favourite monster is, and check out our Monster Hunter Wilds preview for a look at what beasts await in the future. And for everything else, stick with IGN.